Hello everybody, welcome into Watch Me Wednesday. Today it is all about triangles. I'm going to show you some tips and tricks and techniques that I know that will help you make those perfect points in those triangles every time you do some triangles, so you can add them to your quilty toolbox. So if you're ready to get going, hit that share button so some other quilters can join in. Welcome in everybody. And I'm going to start showing you my little methods and tips, tricks, and techniques for those triangles. So let's get going. First I want to show you, I'm going to be using my pattern Triangularity, and I actually have the quilt sitting behind me, which I'll show you later. But this entire quilt is made up of triangles, so all these tips and tricks you'll be able to use with this pattern. And the links will be above me if you're on Facebook and below me if you're on YouTube, if you would choose to purchase the pattern. And I should tell you that inside the pattern, I am going to show you a couple rulers, but inside the pattern you do get a template. So if you don't have the big ruler that I have, you can create your own template with template plastic. So I'm going to angle the camera down so that you can see what I am doing here. And we are going to get rolling. Okay, so with triangles, you are going to want to use a ruler, and I use the Creative Grid 60-degree triangle ruler. It has a little cutoff at the top, if you can see there, but I also use this little corner trimmer tool, which I'll show you how to use in just a minute. So before you cut triangles out, you're going to need to cut your strips. Now, depending on what size, now in my pattern, they are one size, so you may do different sizes. I cut out strips, and you will open them up if it is a print. So the batiks I have folded just because I can cut 2 at a time versus 1 at a time. So you're going to have your strips cut, and I've cut out of my Mandala Magic fabric and out of my Ancient Etchings collection, just a few colors to show you. So you're going to get those cut, and once you've got those cut, you're going to, there'll be a straight edge here, and I had already gone ahead and cut a few, but you're going to lay that ruler down so that the top flat edge is at the top of the flat edge of the strip. And on this, because I've already cut an angle, I'm going to lay it down the one side. And then I'm just going to cut down the other side, trim it down. Now I've got 2, but remember, if you're using a print, you want to open it up so you have right sides out. And sometimes you can get more if you do that. Now you can either flip the strip over, or you can flip the ruler over as well. So either way you want to do it, you can do it. I find it just easier here to flip the strip over, but make sure that you're keeping those edges. They haven't moved. So I flip the strip over, line that top edge and that bottom edge, and on this particular one, there's a white line here. I'm not sure that you can actually see it on the camera, but there's a white line there that is the width of that strip, so it aligns with the bottom edge of the strip, and you just cut. So you just keep continuing to cut like that. Now once you have these strips cut, there's a couple things that I like to do because it makes your piecing actually much more perfect if you so desire to use the word perfect. Now, as you can see, the triangle has that lopped off top edge. So in essence, the dog ear is gone, but it's still got these pointy edges on the bottom, which we don't want because it's harder to align, and sometimes you're guessing where that 1/4 inch seam allowance starts. So I go around and I just lop off those edges. I move the triangle ruler around to those other 2 edges and cut them off. And you'll see how this actually helps you when you're sewing this together. They come out absolutely beautiful. Okay, or, so now I've got 3 edges with the dog ears lopped off, so they're flat corners, okay? Or you can also use this great little tool, and again, I have the links for the rulers. It's the Marty Michelle Deluxe Corner Trimmer hand piecing aid, but as luck might have it, she has a 60-degree angle here on this side. So you can also go ahead, if you don't have a ruler that has the edge lopped off like that one, but just has the pointy edges, you can go ahead and get one of these, and it has all your angles on it. And then you just do the same thing. You basically align that edge. You align the edges with the edges of the triangle, lop that corner off, and do the same here, and lop the corner off. Okay, now you have those squared off edges, okay, which make it really nice and simple. Now, next thing you're going to do is you're going to get my little confetti out of the way. What I did here is I kind of made like a mini sampler for you. Your triangles are going to align in a row or a column, depending on how you do it. You could do it across in a row, or you could do them straight in a column. Now I've gone ahead and sewed some of these together, but you want to get them lined up the way you want it laid out, okay? This is where I'm going to show you how to sew this together. So I'm going to turn you around to my sewing machine. Let me bring it over here so that you can see what I'm doing. Okay. Now, oops, let me bring you up just a little bit. There we go. There we go. Okay, so you're going to start by joining 2 of your triangles together, and you want to line up where those dog ears were lopped off. So you have extremely flat edges. So you have a flat edge there, and a flat edge here, and a flat corner there. Okay, and they're nice and lined up. Now I'm sewing on, I'm going to raise this just a little bit so you can kind of see better. Okay, now I'm sewing on my Designer Epic 2. I have a 50 weight Aurifil thread, and I have my 1/4 inch presser foot on, and I have my single hole throat plate in. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start sewing, and I've also got it at a 2.0 stitch length. So I'm going to sew down the one edge at a perfect or almost perfect, because you're hoping that it'll be perfect. Now I am a thread trimmer, as many of you know. Once you sew that, you are going to go ahead and I take them to the iron and I press these seams open. And I'm going to show you why I do that. So your seam is going to be perfectly flat and open. It's going to help you in your piecing your triangle pattern. Now, let me swing you back over here. Okay, I did that. Okay, so here's my layout again. Okay, and assumingly you've pressed that open. So now you have some pressed open seams. Okay. Now, if you can see what happens here when you press open the seams, do you see how that right there, that point of that purple one, is exactly 1/4 inch from the edge of your row, which is what you want. Now, you would go ahead and you'd keep sewing until you have a complete row, and then what you're going to do is we need to join these together. So again, you can see here where there is that 1/4 inch. So I'm going to sew this last one on this row, and then I'm going to show you how to join the row together so you have that perfect point. So let's swing you back around again. Okay, sorry, I hope I'm not making you all nauseous by swinging you around. I just want you to see what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm going to sew this last one on. And then I'm going to show you how to join that row, because I know you want to get those perfect points in those triangles and not lop any off. And by the way, the reason I have a single throat plate on my machine right now is, say you had those little points at the end of these triangles. You ever do a triangle or something that has a point and you're starting to feed it into your machine, and it goes down, it gets drawn down into the throat plate, the fabric does, that's because you have your zigzag plate on. There's really nowhere for this fabric to go because there is only a single hole throat plate there. So you got your last one on, you're going to press this open, and I'm just going to finger press this at this point because the iron is across the room. So we're going to finger press that open for now, okay? But what I want to do is I need to now join it to this row, okay? So to do that, and I'm going to bring this camera up because I want you to see, well, actually I'm going to bring it over just a little bit so you can see over here. I'm going to show you how to pin it together. Okay, because that's super important. So we are going to, these seams are open, and these, they have to match, okay? Those seams have to match there to the other side. So I'm going to take my super duper fine pins that a lot of you are aware of that I use, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put a pin in. Now if you can see, by the way, here, so let me show you that. So do you see that little green triangle? That indicates there's the 1/4 inch right there where the green, the purple, and the orange meet up. That's your 1/4 inch seam allowance. And same on the other side where that purple, that little purple triangle, there's your 1/4 inch. So I'm going to sink a pin in right there, right inside that seam. So if you see there where I put the pin, right at the top of that little triangle, and then I'm going to come around and I'm going to find the tip of that purple triangle, okay, and I'm going to put the pin in right there, and it will come out the other side right where that triangle joins, okay. So I'm going to pull that together, keeping everything aligned, okay, and I want the edges of this also aligned, the edges of the row aligned, and I'm going to do the same down here. Now obviously this is a short little row, but I want to show you a little trick on how to make sure that you've got this sewn in at 1/4 inch. All right, so I'm going to swing you around again so you can see. Actually, I probably should lower the light on this so you can see. So I'm going to come in here with a basting stitch. I'm going to bring my stitch length up to a 3.0, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick little basting stitch here right through that intersection. And then what it's going to help me do is going to help me see whether or not I've got an actual 1/4 inch and I haven't lopped off my points. So now when I open that up, see how those points are super nice? Okay, that is what you want. Then you can just go ahead and close this back up, put your stitch on your regular stitch length, and sew down the seam allowance. The basting stitch allows you to take it out if it's not accurate, if that makes sense. So I'm going to swing you guys up for a second so you can see me. Hey there, I'm back. There we are. Okay, whoops. Sorry guys. There's a lot of detail to show you today. So that's how I do my triangles, and there's that perfect little point, not lopping that off. So that's showing you how to do it with my triangularity pattern. I do have a few little things to tell you too. I did put out a e-newsletter this week, and I have all Judy Niemeyer patterns are on sale, including my patterns too. 30% off any of my patterns any of Judy Niemeyer patterns, and that's through Sunday. All you need to do is a minimum purchase of $25. Any in-stock patterns, go to my website and you can take advantage of that sale. So that's a plus. So if you want the pattern and if you want any Judy Niemeyer patterns, definitely go for it. 30% off through Sunday. And also I have my online classes are on sale through Sunday as well. They are 20% off. You can pick one, you can pick both, but they are 20% off with the code YouPick20. And that's on my online class website. And I'll put the link above for you if you are here on Facebook or below if you are on YouTube. So I hope you enjoyed today. I hope you've got some new tips, tricks, techniques for those triangles, and I hope you give it a try. And I will see you back here next week. Until then, happy quilting, y'all. Bye-bye.